Again, welcome to the job site. My name is Randy Atkins. I'm with JTS LLC. I'm the clerk of the works, hired by the town or police department to sort of be your eyes and ears here on the job site each and every day, keeping track of sort of quality assurance, making sure that Dustin is doing what they need to do and keeping a daily report on all the activities and making sure everything that was submitted and approved, all the materials and the proper products are being utilized that they said they were going to use. So just ask questions if you want. I have no formal, this is the very first tour that we've actually given, so
very informal.
Very informal. So
what's your background?
My background, I'm actually an electrical engineer, graduated from VMI in 1979. Actually started working for the public utility, BEPCO, back in the day, and then worked for them up until the mid-90s. Actually participated in the building and the construction of the Clover Power Station down in South Boston, Halifax County. And basically with JTS, we've been working many projects for the state of Virginia, for Commonwealth, renovating office buildings and so forth downtown Richmond. I'm actually based out of Richmond, and I drive up here on Monday mornings. I have an apartment over in Linden, spend the week, and then drive home for the weekend. So,
ready?
Yes, sir. This here is a future fire hydrant location. They'll be hopefully start digging today. You can see DL George is the utility contractor. They'll be coming across. They came across Kendrick's over there a couple weeks ago, and they'll be bringing the water line across here and tying into a fire hydrant here. This is basically your front parking lot area. These gentlemen right here are digging the footer for the north security wall. It's an 8-foot wall that starts on the second lot here. An 8-foot split face masonry wall. So what we're doing now, we're digging the footer, getting ready to pour the concrete. We're going to put the wall up to about 3 feet, maybe 4 feet. Then we're going to tear down the fence line.
So what was the issue with the residents there? It goes the rest of the way.
Nothing goes the rest of the way. So that's something y'all have to decide.
They had some
That's part of the project. For some reason that was
wall.
I think
We had a couple of calls, but nothing. All the calls that we got have been people that are not affected. We haven't heard anything from folks that are actually.
I mean, I'd be glad to tear that fence down.
Yeah, we haven't actually had anything.
The residents, apparently we only go to 700 block.
Yeah.
And what happened was, I think some of the 800 block residents got a letter. They were like, well, how are we affected? Because the property does go all the way down, right, to the pond and everything. The only concern we had was, you see that one building right on the line? We determined that it should be okay. We just wanted them to be alert that when we tear this fence down and we put the security wall up, there's going to be about a 20-inch gap between where their fence post is and the new security wall. So they have to either add another post or how they want to handle that. But that's going to be on their side of the property line.
That must be grandfathered in on the 3-foot rule.
I know we brought your planning guy out here. He looked at everything, and like I said, I think there is a lot of grandfathering because the property line is actually the center of that fence is the property line. And that was where, so our footer will be on the property line. The footer is 3'9", but in order to put the security wall is going to sort of be staggered, trying to be in the center. But that's going to be. So we've got that run. They put the reinforcement in right now. We'll probably pour concrete later this afternoon. So far you can see this section right here. The exterior wall has the air barrier, water protection put up. And right now we're going to the other side a little bit. The masons are working primarily on the south wall, bringing that brick up. They've done a little bit here as well.
about drainage?
Drainage, right now we've actually got one, the roof is dried in as far as the building concerned, so that if it does rain, we stay dry inside. The water does run if you have any rain this morning or yesterday, some of the water will just run on. But there's a downspout that is connected to our day, and the storm drain can run up into that area. That area right there will be the future mechanical yard. That's where the emergency generator will go. The diesel tank with the generator is the primary. That line down there, that red excavator, well, that line, that excavation there is your primary coming in from the front royal. They're going around the building to tie into the front royal electric box. So what they did Monday they excavated 180 feet, put the conduit in, and then Tuesday they put the reinforcement steel on top, and they poured concrete on top to protect. And that's all being inspected by the.
So there's no French drain or anything down.
There's no French drains on the building. I found that to be interesting as well. There will be, like I said, I think there's 8 different downspouts around the building, but they'll be tied into a storm drain to take everything off the roof. This will not be a primary entrance, but the primary entrance is over there. And watch it fly without the front. So this will be your primary, that's going to be like a coffee break area. This will be this suite right here is the communication suite. This here's this dark area right here is the records room and the transaction window that hasn't come in yet. Bulletproof transaction window. Fire retardant, 5/8 inch for supporting casework, monitors and whatever. Dark room right here. The file cabinet will be set up here. This room here is the server room for your IT department, and there's an IT office on the other side. Right now, as far as the interior is concerned, we've already had our rough-in inspection electrically and plumbing wise, so we're done that. So the next step will be, as soon as the drywall contractor gets back on site, they'll start putting up some drywall, at least on one side. We've also called the county should be out here today sometime to do a framing inspection.
When are they going to dry it in?
Sir?
When are they going to dry it in?
Well, I know the company that's supposed to provide the windows hasn't come out yet and done actual field measurements, but they're telling us at least 3-week lead time on their windows. So they were supposed to be here a couple weeks ago. Not to, our superintendent's wife passed away last week, so we lost a week with that. Basically, I mean, work was going on, but you didn't have somebody following up, checking on the contractors, and a couple things that sort of fell through the crack while that was going on. So, I think we're on schedule as far as trying to complete by December 31st, and got a lot of interior casework and stuff to be done, flooring and all that, but they move pretty quickly when that time comes.
What kind of ceiling are we talking about here?
You got 4 or 5 different ceilings in here. They have different ACT acoustical ceiling tiles. There's a wood ceiling over in the entrance, and it slopes down. So the ceiling grid probably will not be put in till I would say mid-September. But there's four or five in each room, and every ceiling, that's the thing, like this ceiling in here is 9'6". Other areas will be like 8 foot. So there's a lot of variations, and I'll be honest, off the top of my head, I don't remember everything, but I got drawings I go back to and verify, run back and forth to my trailer. This is we got two main hallways. This here is the patrol area. You got two lieutenant officers here. Let's go down the main. Let's go back over here to the
Chief, one of my concerns is this evidence room.
This here is the main entrance where the public can come in. Yeah. This one actually has the ceiling that's sloped. It actually has 3 ceilings in here. The one everybody will see will be wooden. And this area hasn't been concentrated on as much. There's right here, there's one planter installed. There'll be 4 planters total across, act like a barrier. This is all glass storefront. You can walk over here and you have is a brick veneer. So you got your insulation, 4-inch block, and then the brick going up. See how far they've gone so far. And that sort of follows that.
Hey Roger, where did you get the 8?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
This room right here is the community meeting room. There'll be a podium up here, an overhead projector that comes down, and then they'll have this is a storage closet where all the chairs or whatever needs to be in here. Then that area we just left will have chairs for people coming in.
Get some input on this.
This is like a overnight room for an officer that needs to, like maybe take a couple hours of nap or something, sort of sleep over the roof. That's that there. This is one captain's office, another captain's office, major's office, chief's office. This here would be the chief's office. They'll look a lot smaller. They get that drywall up, they look a lot smaller.
Are they insulating the interior walls?
I believe, I gotta double check. This is keep monitoring, you know, anything that goes up.
Well, that's the nice thing about this one.
This is basically a shower area. This is where your coffee machine, stuff like that can go in here. Slide by. Basically, this area is refrigerator and equipment up here along this wall. See the gentleman like the pipe. This would be the electric room where all the electrical panels go.
I know when they drive all in, it's gonna be big light.
This is your mechanical room. This is your primary air handling unit. This is your supply. That's your return. Your fire sprinkler, fire suppression system located right behind us.
Heat with gas or electric? Sure, electric.
Electric.
Kind of figured that.
This here will be the mechanical yard. There'll be a couple of pads for the air conditioning unit sitting outside. And watch the dripping here.
Watch the camera.
Eventually, sir, this is one of the downspout boots. Will tie in up top. It's already tied into the underground drain, so hopefully that will take. But there's nothing up. There's no French draining tile or anything up around the. But you can see we got this water barrier supposed to be adhered to the block.
Help move that
So this, like I said, you can go back in and walk around.
Interrogation room?
Briefing room.
Look, oh, briefing. I'll maybe sit out here on the.
Now we got
Take the mirror.
This here will be the briefing room for the guys.
More offices.
This here is your fitness center. I believe this is being provided by some auxiliary funding.
Yes. Good point to make.
So, but again, there'll be a couple of treadmills, some bikes, stuff like that in here. Get some weights. They want a punching bag, a heavy bag, and so forth. They may not. Yeah, we've planned for, you know, every contingency, but you know, like we got 3 monitors in here, but they may only install 2 or 1, depending on what their budget can allow for. Lockers going over here, and then there's 4 showers at the end, 2 women, 2 men.
I mean, the rooms, obviously part of the building. All of the equipment would be funded by the police department.
But say you make that known.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. Yeah.
We're talking about this rec room here.
Is that the police foundation going to take care of
Police
that?
Foundation is gonna outfit all of the exercise equipment for for the fitness center. Yeah.
Those are the kind of things that need to be known. You got to state those things up front.
I've learned the different paths. Like I said, you got a couple of interviews room here. I think the juvenile interview room over here in the corner. A couple more offices in this space here. This will be boxed. This is your part of your
Sprinkler system.
fire suppression system. The main door for this end is actually right there, and there'll be a canopy
Just a second.
that goes across. We got to do 4 pillars. Okay, yeah. There's the main door, right here. Canopy that goes across. So you got 2 footers there already, and 2 footers there. We got to put a couple more footers there with some digging going on here earlier. That's part of your storm drain and stuff. Just really far up the grade and curb and gutter on the street and really down the car and all filled in. This is actually the mechanical room for the support building. Again, fire suppression piping here, domestic water lines coming in there. Floor drain right there. Yeah, right now what we got is all the drains have not been connected, so we get groundwater sometimes that backs up into the drain. I was concerned when I first saw that a couple times after some heavy rain 3 weeks ago, so I made them go back up on the roof and make sure that everything fine, no opening, make sure anything we've done. They came back and tell me 100% sealed, and we're getting some water back in there. Is this the dog kennel? I don't remember. I got my drawings.
Run going to the outside.
Well, there's a door that will go over here, doggy door, I think. I think this is the dog. You got the armory and the tack stuff over there. Over there, the evidence room. There'll be lockers across here, and evidence window right there.
What's the copper pipe I see running?
Most of the copper you see is domestic, hot water, cold water, and return. The large, and then some of the other pipe you'll see is copper and maybe refrigerant lines.
I don't see any plastic anywhere.
There's some PVC, but most of it's underground.
This is where the mayor parks at, right? And the chief.
This is the garage.
This is where we'll be processing evidence and storing some of our other vehicles, keeping them out of some of the special vehicles.
Oh yeah.
We got a special oil separator over in the corner. Every one of these doors has drain control. All the valves are not tapped off here. Got a round tap that goes on, plus the valves on the other side. Looks to me like somebody's already bringing automobile parts here. I don't know what for. This is BL George. They're running the water line across the west end here. Where that gentleman standing for basically the fire hydrant of the project. The security wall actually turns. Whatever the 3 lots are, I think it's past this house. The security wall will turn down hard way on this side of the street.
What's going to be beyond?
That's going to be your bio retention filter and your detention pond. All that part of the Chesapeake Bay Act requirements and all that. So that's going to eventually, we got a parking lot right here. There'll be some primary parking for most of the officers. There will be a few parking spots down the side. Most of your visitor parking will be all up front. There'll be a security gate, nobody can get back here anyway. There will be a rear back here also. Most of that though is going to be environmental on whatever. Right now you probably can't see it. We got a berm that goes all the way down on both sides of the property. That's called a sediment trap. So whenever it rains, we had some heavy rain 3 weeks ago, 1st of June, back in May. Those things would get almost to a foot, but they didn't overflow. But every day, after rains and whatever, we have a crew that goes around and pumps it back to the storm drain. Eventually, we started last Saturday. You can see where they put it at the top of the street, all the street. I forgot how far we got to go, but that fence line, some of the trees have to go back. There's a line back there that says limits of disturbance. That's what we do. When we first started clearing the site back in November, we didn't want to tear down fence and have to bring in temporary fence, so we haven't quite reached it. We're getting close to it. There's a couple of guys that like to come in on Saturdays and work. So that's what they do. They come in. They started doing that last week.
So there'll be a new fence down along that fence line?
Yes, sir.
What kind of security fence?
Long fence, I believe, is the contract plan.
Hey, Chief,
Sir?
is this is in this garage area, is it like a sally port, or are you going to have any kind of, other than police officers in here, like people that you arrested, or?
No, not typically in this portion of the building. This will be primarily for housing some of our special purpose vehicles, items that are flammable. We'll have a locked up secure area to be able to put, say we find a moped or a chainsaw, something like that. We don't want to put something that's got gas and oil actually in the building. It'll be stored out here. We'll have a secure cage locked up area to be able to secure those types of things.
So we're not going to have any holding areas of any sort of?
No.
That'll all be done at the RSW?
There's no detention facility here at all.
Okay.
Everything, all that's done at the RSW jail.
So your interrogation rooms or your interview rooms are strictly for witnesses and things?
Well, we may interview suspects there, but it's not going to be. Nobody's going to be held here.
Okay.
For any, that it's not. We have nothing designed to be able to hold people.
Okay.
So if we have a suspect or something that's going to be interviewed, they're brought in, they're interviewed, and then they're out. We're not going to be keeping anyone here. Okay. They'll all be housed at the jail, RSW jail.
So what do you think? It's a little nicer than where you're at now?
It's going to be a whole lot nicer than where we are now. Again, having moved into the public safety building several years back, it was very nice moving out of that building the first time, and it's going to be even nicer the second time. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it.
There's no equipment on the roof. All the equipment is in the mechanical yard, so they shouldn't have to actually go up there. I'm used to normally you put these mats down so that you have a pathway and whatever, so that you're not actually walking. Because the roofers themselves, when they get up there and work, they're wearing tennis shoes.
Drain's pretty good.
Yeah, you can see, we get, that's where, the drain, everything right now, it's sloped pretty well, and, but we gotta get some downspouts and stuff and get the water back under the ground.
It looks like pretty good sized ground, down.
When you look from the street, it looks like it slopes to the middle.
It does.
Oh, okay.
Up front, it does. It has slope. It has slope this way, but at the very front, it has a slope where it's a downspout right in the middle. Point out to you. And you've seen the renderings. I mean, that's what I look at. What the future is going to be. It gives me an idea. I'm a picture type person, so I can appreciate more. I can read and look at drawings, but I want to be able to see also. Yeah.
Hands on.
Yeah.
Understand.
That's why I like to be here. I mean, I'm here. If there's activity going on, except maybe the weekend, and I follow up with it on Monday morning. But I don't want to miss anything. I want to know what's going on, and I'm making sure that you're getting what you're paying for.
Have you had any issues at all with anything? Just normal construction issues?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a couple things that people come in and they may have gone through the submittal process, they got it approved, and then they bring a different product. It's a suitable product, and it's even on the list of being acceptable, but they didn't. That's what instead of putting in, we're going to bring one of these three, they submitted, we're going to bring X, Y, Z, and then they bring in ABC.
Right.
And I just have to, like all the framing material. The first delivery, the first truck came in, and what they had submitted was a Clark Dietrich metal framing system. They brought in some other brand. So while they were unloading, I went through my spec book, got the submittal, came back and said this is not what was approved. And so unfortunately for them, they got held up 2 days while they had to get the right stuff. So, but they could have gone back to the approval process through the architect, but that takes time as well. But the owner for that company said, you're right, you got me. We'll get the right stuff delivered. And a lot of times, they'll go to what they have at the warehouse, or whatever their supplier may have, and but
metal stud's a metal stud, right?
Well, it should be. But
not
always. I mean, you got 16 gauge, 18 gauge, 14 gauge. And
well, that's your work. You're the clerk of the work.
Right.
I remember some discussion about that. Oh, who are we going to hire? Do we need somebody? And this is exactly. I remember Councilman Kewalt was adamant about getting the right person for the job. Sounds like you're it.
Well, I hope I've been doing a good job so far.
Well, it sounds like even with these discrepancies in materials, you haven't had a whole lot of delay.
No.
Because you're on schedule. Maybe a little bit ahead of schedule.
Any questions? Anything else you want to see? Or
What's the police car's mode of traffic? That gate over there?
There's a back gate right here. And this will be a driveway. There's a few parking spots along that building there. There's a security gate where that green backhoe is. They can come this way or they can come this back way. And they'll all be card readers and code security. The security company been here roughing in all the various security doors for the card readers and so forth. The HVAC control people have been here.
For a living.
Security access. If you look, I think all the trades have done a pretty good job of making the work. Because this is an open bay. That's not going to be no ceiling there, so you can see all their work and all that. Running perpendicular, parallel, and not right. So I try to give them credit. Trying to maintain a good relationship with all the.
It does look good. I mean, you can tell.
Yes, I'm impressed. Very impressed.
So, Bill, what's your overall impression?
I'm very impressed with what I see. All my questions were answered. I got no real concerns at this point. I think the entry points are well. I think that the construction is great. I'm a little concerned about the chief's security wall being accessible. The evidence room has got to be above board. The interview rooms have got to be soundproof. Even the chief's office has got to be soundproof. That's the first indicators I have in this walkthrough.
How about you, Gary? What do you think?
Things are progressing pretty good. This police department has been a long time. It's been needed. And,
You gonna get our money's worth?
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. It looks very nice. It looks very nice.
And I know you're police chief.
Very much so.
I'm really surprised how quick they're doing this job. It seems awful fast for a government project.
For a change, right? Once it started coming up out of the ground, it really started to take off. It took a little while for that to start happening, but then once the structure began to emerge from the ground, it really started to take shape pretty quickly. And we're pretty pleased with the progress and with what we've seen out here. I think the town really was forward thinking when they employed having JPS as having a clerk on the works, having boots on the ground every day, as well as having ECS, which is a third-party inspector out here to keep an eye on things. It just kind of holds all of the contractors to a higher standard, and I think our citizens are going to get more bang for their buck having that kind of everyday involvement, making sure things are done correctly. So I think we're going to have a real value, a lot of value in this project moving forward.
Well, do you think it's going to be a good anchor to the community out here? We hopefully get this thing.
Well, I mean,
if you build it, will they come? You know.
Well, we certainly don't want any more crime. But at that point, I think you got to think about it. In the history of the town, this is one of the first purpose-built structures that's ever been constructed here in town. The county's had a few, but I mean, this is the first time that the town has actually, from scratch, put a building together for the purpose that it's designed to be used for. So it's pretty exciting, and we're honored to be the guinea pigs. Certainly
glad.
Moving forward.
Well, you deserve it.
Thanks
a lot, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Gary, I hope that this will help drive some more work out here. Not work, but some more businesses and things, and actually help the Royal Village area and beef that up a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Security grills built into the ductwork. You can't crawl through the ductwork and.
Right, that's typical.
Right.
What about white noise in the duct?
I know some of the duct is lined, insulated inside. It will be wrapped also. Some of the duct is not insulated, so But I know that I will have to. I've worked with Mosley before on some other projects, and they do a pretty good job on making sure that they know what their specs are and what they need to be done. One of the other things I do is, like right now, I see a delivery coming in, and I try to make sure that it wasn't too bad. Managed by model spec, making sure it's the right stuff.
Well, we appreciate you showing us around.
Yes, sir.